Yoast SEO General Settings Dashboard. If Yoast SEO plugin identifies any problems with your site in terms of search engine optimization, then it's going to show those issues here on General tab here, as in Dashboard tab. Let's press on General. Recently they have opened the installation wizard. I don't know what they're trying to do, because it seems that the more they add stuff to this plugin, the more confusing it becomes for WordPress users. So my job is to simplify the settings and to show you the best practices, because most of the settings that they've been adding, they actually don't add any value to your website's Google ranking, so to speak. And anytime you want to restore the settings that you may have tweaked and you are not sure about the best practices, then you can actually restore default settings. So therefore, this plugin, when you press restore default settings, it's going to give you a notice saying, are you sure? Then you might say, okay, yes, I am. So everything will revert back to plugin initial installation stage. And then you finally need to make save changes anytime you update this plugin. Let's press on features. Here, let's disable this advanced settings page and take a note of the menu structure here. Because once you disable that, some of the features will be removed, as you can see now, right? So let's enable that, because we're going to take a look at what they are by using WordPress and SEO Trainer plugin. Now on page.org, it seems that Yoast SEO plugin is trying to do things that they shouldn't be doing, meaning you can't rely on third-party solutions to analyze your website. Instead, you need to start utilizing the tool available from Google itself, which is called Search Console. Because under Fetch as Google, you can simply analyze. Okay, let's press on that. I'll show you what Fetch as Google is all about. Because if you want to let any tool to analyze your website and your web pages, then Search Console is your tool. You simply place a sample URL. Let's grab this particular URL from my particular blog, and let's just remove this part here. And now I can tell Google, okay, for desktop, how do you, this is what we're saying to Google. We're saying, okay, Google, this is the URL from my website. So you simply would place your different URL structure and select different options here. For desktop, you can say fetch and render Google. Fetch that page and render it to tell me how can you see it? How do you see it compared to real people? Now that's going ahead and fetching that particular URL from my blog. Now that fetch attempt is completed, I can press on this particular tab here, and Google Fetch as Google feature is going to show me this is how Google saw my website, as in that particular page. You can scroll down to see how Google sees that page. And it also compares that same page to how people see it. So that means this is what Google's saying. This is how we saw it, and this is how real people saw it when they visited your website. And ideally, what you want Google to see the same content that people sees, because that's what Google does. It analyzes that. And then you can see if there are issues such as blocked resources. In my example, this is actually normal because I do not control this URL. It's to do with serving ads on my website. So at the end of the day, this is the feature that you should be using for on-page analysis instead of any plugins. Admin bar menu. You can have that disabled or enabled. I'll show you a sample site. So this menu bar here, if you don't want Yoast SEO to show you all these different links, then you can simply disable that and save changes. That's totally up to you. There are some useful links there you may like to check out. Okay, let's look at your info. You can simply give your blog URL as a website name. If your WordPress site is related to a business, then your business name would go in here. And then you would select that you're a company and give company name, as in your trading business name. And the logo, you can simply upload a logo to match your business logo. And it's just a matter of selecting your logo and placing the link in there. Let's grab this one. Let's use that image. Company name, let's say RankYa SEO Services. So now I would then save changes. Every time you fill in these details, what Yoast will do, add certain details in the source code by using the details that you provided. Okay, let's remove that, and let's also remove that, and let's save changes, because you can anytime make changes. And I can say, okay, my WordPress site is related to my personal self and my own blogging. If that's the case, I can select person and then say, this is my name, and then save changes accordingly. So this feature is actually not bad of this plugin. So let's move on to Webmaster Tools tab here. Here, if you're utilizing Bing, Google Search Console, or Yandex, perhaps our friends in Russia, if you're using this plugin in Russia, Yandex Webmaster Tools verification code is needed to be placed here. If you have not verified your site with Google Search Console, you can add a property and simply give the URL here and then add your site. That means simply log into your Google account, or you can even search Google Webmaster Tools and it should bring you to this screen, and you need to add a property. Once you add your website, then the next step is to verify your site, and you can do that by pressing this gear icon and pressing on verification details. Easiest way is to use the unique code that Google makes available for your added website, and we just need all these random numbers and letters to be placed in there. Just that. That's what Yoast SEO plugin wants from Google Search Console. That's the only code. Let's save changes. And if I refresh my page, as you can see, that's what the Yoast plugin has automatically added for you, which actually can be useful. Just makes things easier for you, perhaps, to verify your website using meta tag verification method. The security tab here, you can have this enabled or disabled. When should you have this enabled? If you're letting other people to log into your WordPress site and you want to then disable certain features, then you can have that enabled. Let's save changes. I'll show you what that is as well. Let's imagine you're creating a brand new post, and then you have Yoast SEO features here. Because you have advanced settings such as no follow, no index, and all this stuff, that means when you have that enabled, you're basically enabling that. Let's have that disabled. Let's save changes. Now, those people who are logged in using different roles will not be able to tweak these settings. It's not rather to do with security per se, but content publishing. Because you should never rely on a single search engine optimization plugin to add security features for your WordPress site. Instead, there are many security related plugins that does the security as best a WordPress plugins can do. So WordPress Yoast SEO plugin dashboard and these tabs and their settings are all about this. Once again, most of these things are not needed. You may definitely be able to check out your info and fill in the details accordingly, and perhaps verifying your WordPress site using this method that I've just shown you may be of interest to you. The rest of these settings is just the general settings. In the next video, I'm going to show you the best practices to use the rest as well.